Welcome to the channel, where today we plunge into the shadowy, pulse-pounding mystery of the 2006 1-cent USA coin, a seemingly ordinary penny that hides a labyrinth of secrets so bizarre, so inexplicable, that it has sparked a decades-long obsession among collectors and numismatists, leaving us to wonder, what if a small mistake made it one of the rarest coins ever struck? Picture this, a single cent, unassuming in your pocket change, yet carrying anomalies so profound they defy the very systems designed to ensure perfection at the US Mint, a coin that whispers of lost die trials, covert minting errors, and unexplained phenomena that slipped through the cracks of one of the most secure institutions in the world. Let's rewind to 2006, a year when the Mint was churning out billions of Lincoln cents, each one meant to be identical, a tribute to precision and uniformity, but something went awry, something that turned this humble penny into a numismatic enigma. It began with whispers of production anomalies, coins emerging with faint, ghost-like impressions of Lincoln's profile, as if the dies themselves were haunted by an unseen force. Collectors stumbled upon specimens with doubled features, where Lincoln's ear or the letters of Liberty appeared to shimmer, duplicated in a way that shouldn't have been possible, raising the question, how could such a glaring error escape the Mint's rigorous quality control? Then came the discovery of misaligned strikes, where the obverse and reverse were eerily off-center, as if the press itself had rebelled against its operators. Numismatists began to speculate, was this a one-off fluke, or was there something deeper, something deliberate, hidden within the Mint's operations? The plot thickened with reports of planchet flaws, coins struck on blanks that were too thin, too thick, or inexplicably warped, as if the raw materials had been tampered with before they even reached the press. And then there were the mint marks, or lack thereof, coins that should have borne the D for Denver or P for Philadelphia, but instead carried nothing, or worse, faint traces of marks that didn't align with any known records, as if they were struck in a clandestine operation. The mystery deepened with tales of die clashes, where the obverse and reverse dies collided, leaving cryptic imprints, a shadow of the memorial's columns on Lincoln's face, or ghostly outlines of letters that shouldn't exist. These weren't just errors, they were anomalies that suggested something extraordinary had happened in 2006, something the Mint wasn't eager to explain. Collectors began to piece together stories, like detectives at a crime scene, uncovering reports of a rogue die trial, a test run that was never meant to reach circulation, yet somehow did. Could it be that a batch of experimental coins, struck with unapproved dies or untested alloys, slipped out into the world? The idea sent shockwaves through the numismatic community, fueling a treasure hunt that continues to this day. Experts weighed in, analyzing coins under microscopes, revealing invisible initials etched into Lincoln's shoulder, markings so faint they were missed for years, suggesting a hidden signature from a Mint worker who knew something we didn't. Others found coins with shadowed devices, where the design elements seemed to glow with an otherworldly depth, as if the coin itself held a secret it was desperate to reveal. The obsession grew, with collectors scouring pocket change, bank rolls, and estate sales, driven by the tantalizing possibility that one of these enigmatic pennies could be hiding in plain sight. Rumors swirled of confidential Mint reports, locked away in vaults, detailing a catastrophic oversight in 2006, a day when the presses ran unchecked, or a night when an unauthorized worker slipped a flawed die into production. Some even whispered of a disgruntled employee, embedding deliberate errors as a silent protest, though no evidence has ever surfaced to confirm such a wild theory. Yet the coins themselves tell a story. One specimen, found in a vending machine in Ohio, bore a doubled, "In God We Trust," so pronounced it seemed intentional, while another, discovered in a child's piggy bank, had a reverse so misaligned it looked like the memorial was sliding off the coin entirely. These discoveries kept the mystery alive, each new find raising more questions than answers. Why did some coins have a strange, frosted texture, unlike any other penny from that year? How could a die crack create a pattern that mimicked a second Lincoln profile, staring back from the coin's surface like a doppelganger? Numismatists began to theorize about atmospheric conditions in the Mint, wondering if a power surge or a mechanical failure could have caused the presses to stutter, producing these freakish anomalies. Others speculated about the planchets themselves. Could they have been recycled from older, defective stock, carrying traces of previous designs that bled through in ghostly impressions? The deeper you dig, the more the 2006 penny reveals itself as a puzzle with no clear solution, a coin that challenges everything we know about the Mint's operations. Collectors' forums buzzed with stories, a man in Texas who found a penny with a Mint mark that appeared to shift under different lighting, as if it were playing tricks on the eye, a woman in New York who swore her coin's Lincoln seemed to have an extra ear, a feature no official die should have produced. These weren't just coins anymore, they were artifacts of a hidden history, each one a clue to a larger conspiracy, or perhaps just a series of extraordinary accidents. The tension builds with every new discovery, as numismatists pore over high-resolution scans, comparing their finds to the handful of known error coins, each one a potential key to unlocking the truth. What makes the 2006 penny so gripping is not just its flaws, but what they suggest about the fragility of perfection, how a single moment of chaos in a system designed for order could produce something so rare, so inexplicable, that it captivates the imagination of anyone who holds it. The hunt continues, with collectors driven by the thrill of possibility, knowing that somewhere out there, in a jar of change or a forgotten drawer, another 2006 penny might be waiting, its secrets ready to rewrite the story. And as we speak, new reports emerge, a coin found last month with a die clash so bizarre it defies all known patterns, prompting experts to revisit their theories, to question whether the mint's silence on these anomalies hides a truth too shocking to reveal. The 2006 1-cent coin isn't just a piece of copper-plated zinc, it's a portal to a world of intrigue, a testament to the human obsession with the unknown, and a reminder that even in the most controlled environments, chaos can create something extraordinary, something that was never meant to exist, yet somehow did, waiting for someone to find it and unravel its mystery. Next, we dive headfirst into the heart-pounding, enigmatic world of the 1968 1-cent USA coin, a penny so shrouded in mystery that it raises a chilling question: what if a small mistake made it one of the rarest coins ever struck, a numismatic phantom that has haunted collectors and experts for over half a century? Picture the Denver Mint in 1968, a fortress of precision in an era of cultural upheaval, where billions of Lincoln cents were churned out under the watchful eyes of quality control, yet something slipped through, something so extraordinary, so inexplicable, that it transformed this humble penny into a legend whispered about in numismatic circles. The story begins with a single coin, unremarkable at first glance, but bearing anomalies that defy logic, doubled letters in Liberty that shimmer like a mirage, a Lincoln portrait with ghostly outlines as if etched by an unseen hand, and mint marks that seem to flicker in and out of existence under scrutiny. How could such errors escape the mint's iron grip on perfection? The historical context sets a tense stage. 1968 was a year of turmoil, with the U.S. grappling with war, assassinations, and social unrest, and the mint itself was navigating a transition from silver to copper-nickel compositions for other denominations, stretching its resources thin. Amid this chaos, the Denver Mint, marked by its proud D, produced cents that should have been routine, but instead, a series of bizarre manufacturing slip-ups crept in, planchet flaws that left coins too thin, too thick, or eerily warped, as if the raw materials themselves rebelled. Collectors first noticed the anomalies in the early 1970s, when a handful of 1968 D pennies surfaced with striking misalignments, the obverse and reverse skewed so dramatically that Lincoln's head seemed to drift off-center, gazing into oblivion. Then came the die clashes, where the memorial's columns left faint, ghostly impressions on Lincoln's profile, as if the dies had collided in a moment of mechanical mutiny. Numismatists were baffled. How could such errors, so blatant, slip past multiple layers of inspection? The mystery deepened with reports of doubled features, letters and numbers that appeared to overlap, creating a surreal, almost three-dimensional effect that suggested a die had been reused or mishandled in ways the mint never disclosed. Whispers began to circulate of a lost die trial, a secret test run of experimental dies that were never meant to reach circulation, yet somehow did, sparking wild theories of government oversights or even deliberate sabotage. Could a rogue mint employee have slipped a flawed die into production, or was this the result of a late-night error, buried in confidential reports that never saw the light of day? Collectors became obsessed, their passion bordering on mania, as they scoured pocket change, coin rolls, and estate sales for these elusive pennies, each one a potential clue to a larger conspiracy. One collector in Nebraska stumbled upon a 1968 D cent with an invisible initial, a faint S, where the Denver D should have been, defying all official records and suggesting a mix-up with the San Francisco Mint, which wasn't even producing cents that year. Another coin, found in a Michigan vending machine, bore a shadowed Lincoln portrait, as if a second, spectral image had been burned into the metal, prompting experts to speculate about overused dies or contaminated planchets. The tension escalated with each new discovery, coins with mint marks that appeared to shift under different lighting, as if playing tricks on the eye, others with die cracks that formed eerie patterns, like a second Lincoln face staring back from the coin's surface. Numismatists pored over these specimens under high-powered microscopes, uncovering minute details, like a hairline fracture in the die that left a trail of cryptic lines across the memorial's steps, that hinted at a deeper story of mechanical failure or human error. Some theorized that the mint's presses, strained by the high volume of production in 1968, had stuttered, producing these anomalies in a fleeting moment of chaos. Others pointed to the planchets themselves, wondering if they were recycled from older stock, carrying traces of previous designs that bled through in ghostly impressions. The 1968 D penny became more than a coin, it became a puzzle, a portal to a hidden history that challenged everything we thought we knew about the U.S. Mint. Collectors' forums buzzed with tales of discovery. A woman in Colorado who found a penny with a doubled 1968, so pronounced it seemed intentional, as if the mint were testing a new technique. A man in Ohio who uncovered a coin with a reverse so misaligned that the memorial appeared to be melting off the edge. These stories fueled a treasure-hunting frenzy, with each new find raising more questions than answers. Why did some coins have a strange, frosted texture, unlike any other penny from that year? How could a die clash create a pattern that mimicked a second Lincoln profile, as if the coin itself were alive with secrets? Experts began to dig deeper, analyzing mint records and interviewing retired workers, only to find gaps in the documentation, missing logs, vague reports, and a conspicuous silence about the 1968 production run. Rumors swirled of a catastrophic oversight, perhaps a night when the presses ran unchecked, or a day when an unauthorized die was slipped into the mix. Some even speculated about atmospheric conditions, a power surge, a temperature fluctuation, that could have caused the presses to malfunction, producing these freakish anomalies. The obsession grew, with collectors trading stories of near misses and heart-stopping finds, a coin with a mint mark that seemed to vanish under magnification, only to reappear in different light, another with a planchet so flawed it felt heavier in the hand, as if it carried the weight of its own mystery. The 1968 D penny's allure lies not just in its errors, but in what they reveal about the fragility of control, how a single moment of disorder in a system built for precision could birth something so rare, so inexplicable, that it captivates the imagination of anyone who encounters it. Even now, new discoveries keep the mystery alive. Just last year, a collector in Nevada found a 1968 D cent with a die clash so bizarre it defied all known patterns, prompting experts to revisit their theories and question whether the mint's silence hides a truth too shocking to reveal. The hunt continues, with collectors driven by the thrill of possibility, knowing that somewhere out there, in a jar of change, a forgotten drawer, or a child's piggy bank, another 1968 D penny might be waiting, its anomalies ready to rewrite the story. This coin isn't just a piece of copper, it's a testament to the human drive to uncover the unknown, a reminder that even in the most controlled environments, chaos can create something extraordinary, something that was never meant to exist, yet somehow did, beckoning us to chase its secrets and unravel the enigma that is the 1968 D 1-cent coin. Next, brace yourself for a heart-pounding journey into the shadowy, perplexing world of the 1996 D 1-cent USA coin, a penny so steeped in mystery that it ignites a question that will haunt you. What if a small mistake made it one of the rarest coins ever struck, a numismatic ghost that has driven collectors to the brink of obsession and left experts scrambling for answers? Imagine the Denver Mint in 1996, a fortress of precision tasked with producing billions of Lincoln cents, each one a testament to meticulous craftsmanship, yet something went terribly, inexplicably wrong, something that birthed a coin so anomalous, so enigmatic, that it defies the very systems designed to ensure perfection. The saga begins with a single cent, unassuming in a handful of change, but bearing secrets that unravel the fabric of numismatic history, letters in Liberty that appear to shimmer with a doubled edge, Lincoln's profile etched with faint, ghostly outlines as if touched by an unseen force, and mint marks that seem to flicker in and out of existence under scrutiny. How could such errors, so blatant, slip past the mint's ironclad quality control? The year 1996 sets a tense backdrop. The U.S. Mint was modernizing, adopting new technologies and grappling with unprecedented production demands, a perfect storm for chaos to creep in. Amid this high-stakes environment, the Denver Mint, proudly stamping its D, churned out cents that should have been flawless, but instead, a series of bizarre manufacturing slip-ups emerged, planchet flaws that left coins too thin, too thick, or eerily misshapen, as if the raw materials themselves were cursed. Collectors first noticed the anomalies in the late 1990s, when a handful of 1996 D pennies surfaced with striking misalignments, the obverse and reverse so skewed that Lincoln's head seemed to drift toward the coin's edge, staring into an abyss. Then came the die clashes, where the Lincoln Memorial's columns left spectral imprints on the president's face, as if the dies had collided in a moment of mechanical rebellion. Numismatists were stunned. How could such errors escape multiple layers of inspection in a facility obsessed with perfection? The mystery deepened with reports of doubled features, letters and numbers that overlapped in a surreal, almost hypnotic way, suggesting a die had been mishandled or reused in ways the mint never acknowledged. Whispers began to circulate of a lost die trial, a clandestine test run of experimental dies that were never meant to reach circulation, yet somehow did, fueling wild theories of government oversights or even intentional sabotage. Could a disgruntled mint worker have slipped a flawed die into production, or was this the result of a catastrophic error buried in confidential reports that remain locked away? Collectors became consumed, their passion bordering on madness, as they scoured bank rolls, vending machines, and flea markets for these elusive pennies, each one a potential key to a larger conspiracy. One collector in Wyoming stumbled upon a 1996 D cent with an invisible initial, a faint, almost imperceptible mark where the D should have been, defying all official records and hinting at a mix-up with another mint, perhaps even a facility not authorized to produce cents that year. Another coin, found in a California parking lot, bore a shadowed Lincoln portrait, as if a second, spectral image had been burned into the metal, prompting experts to speculate about contaminated planchets or overworked dies. The tension escalated with each new discovery, coins with mint marks that seemed to shift under different lighting, as if mocking the viewer, others with die cracks that formed cryptic patterns, like a second Lincoln face staring back from the coin's surface, a doppelganger etched in copper. Numismatists pored over these specimens under high-powered microscopes, uncovering minute details, like a hairline fracture in the die that left a trail of ghostly lines across the memorial steps, that suggested a deeper story of mechanical failure or human error. Some theorized that the mint's presses, pushed to their limits in 1996, had faltered, producing these anomalies in a fleeting moment of chaos. Others pointed to the planchets, wondering if they were recycled from defective stock, carrying traces of previous designs that bled through in eerie impressions. The 1996 D penny became more than a coin, it became a riddle, a portal to a hidden history that challenged everything we thought we knew about the U.S. Mint. Collectors' forums buzzed with tales of heart-stopping finds, a man in Oregon who uncovered a penny with a doubled 1996, so pronounced it seemed deliberate, as if the mint were experimenting with a technique never meant for public eyes, a woman in Texas who found a coin with a reverse so misaligned that the memorial appeared to be sliding off the edge, defying all logic. These stories fueled a treasure-hunting frenzy, with each new discovery raising more questions than answers. Why did some coins have a strange, almost frosted texture, unlike any other penny from that year? How could a die clash create a pattern that mimicked a second Lincoln profile, as if the coin itself were alive with secrets? Experts dug deeper, analyzing mint records and interviewing retired workers, only to find gaps in the documentation, missing logs, vague reports, and a conspicuous silence about the 1996 D production run. Rumors swirled of a catastrophic oversight, perhaps a night when the presses ran unchecked, or a day when an unauthorized die was slipped into the mix. Some speculated about environmental factors, a power surge, a temperature spike, that could have caused the presses to malfunction, producing these freakish anomalies. The obsession grew, with collectors trading stories of near misses and electrifying discoveries, a coin with a mint mark that seemed to vanish under magnification, only to reappear in different light, another with a planchet so flawed it felt heavier, as if it carried the weight of its own mystery. The 1996 D penny's allure lies not just in its errors, but in what they reveal about the fragility of perfection, how a single moment of disorder in a system built for precision could birth something so rare, so inexplicable, that it captivates the imagination of anyone who holds it. Even now, new discoveries keep the mystery alive. Just last month, a collector in Arizona found a 1996 D cent with a die clash so bizarre it defied all known patterns, prompting experts to revisit their theories and question whether the mint's silence hides a truth too shocking to reveal. The hunt continues, with collectors driven by the thrill of possibility, knowing that somewhere out there, in a jar of change, a forgotten drawer, or a child's piggy bank, another 1996 D penny might be waiting, its anomalies ready to rewrite the story. This coin isn't just a piece of copper-plated zinc, it's a testament to the human drive to uncover the unknown, a reminder that even in the most controlled environments, chaos can create something extraordinary, something that was never meant to exist, yet somehow did, beckoning us to chase its secrets and unravel the enigma that is the 1996 D 1-cent coin. The deeper we dig, the more questions arise. Could a batch of experimental planchets, perhaps struck with unapproved alloys, have slipped into circulation? Or was there a moment of human error so profound that it went undocumented, buried in the mint's archives? Collectors have reported coins with faint, almost imperceptible scratches that form patterns too precise to be accidental, as if someone or something left a hidden message in the metal. One particularly chilling find came from a collector in Illinois, who discovered a 1996 D penny with a reverse that appeared to have been struck twice, but with different designs, a memorial that overlapped with a faint, unrecognizable structure, as if the coin had been caught in a temporal glitch. Numismatists have debated whether this could be evidence of a die mix-up, perhaps a test die from another denomination or even a foreign mint, accidentally used in Denver. The speculation only intensifies the mystery, as each new anomaly pushes the boundaries of what we believe is possible. Some coins have surfaced with planchets that seem to glow under ultraviolet light, a phenomenon that defies the standard composition of copper-plated zinc, leading to theories of contaminated metal supplies or experimental alloys never meant for public use. Others have been found with die cracks so intricate they form shapes resembling letters or symbols, sparking debates about whether these were intentional Easter eggs left by a mint worker or simply the result of overworked equipment pushed to its breaking point. The 1996 D penny has become a lightning rod for numismatic intrigue, with collectors dedicating years to tracking down every known specimen, comparing them under microscopes to catalog their quirks. Some have even reported coins that seem to hum with a strange resonance when tapped, a phenomenon no one can fully explain. The stories keep piling up. A teenager in Florida who found a 1996 D cent in a fast food register, its Lincoln portrait so doubled it looked like two presidents staring back. A retiree in New Mexico who unearthed a coin with a mint mark that appeared to morph from a D to a P depending on the angle of light. These discoveries drive collectors to the edge, each one a breadcrumb leading deeper into a labyrinth of unanswered questions. What does it mean that some coins have a faint, almost invisible outline of a second memorial, as if the die carried a memory of a design never approved? Could the mint have been testing new engraving techniques in secret, only to have the results leak into circulation? The lack of answers only fuels the obsession, as numismatists comb through old mint reports, searching for clues in the spark. Next, what if a single, seemingly insignificant penny from 1973 could unravel a web of mystery so profound that it has left numismatists sleepless, chasing shadows in the halls of the U.S. mint's history, gripped by an obsession that borders on madness? Picture the 1973 D. Lincoln Memorial 1-cent coin, a humble piece of copper-clad zinc, struck in Denver during a year of economic upheaval, political scandals, and a mint stretched to its limits, producing billions of coins under pressure to meet a nation's demand. Yet within this ordinary production run, something extraordinary slipped through, a cascade of errors, anomalies, and peculiarities that transformed this penny into a numismatic enigma, a coin that whispers secrets of a time when precision faltered and chaos crept into the presses. Imagine the scene: the Denver Mint in 1973, a fortress of mechanical precision, where massive presses churned out coins with relentless rhythm, each strike meant to be identical, yet somehow, in the frenetic pace of production, mistakes were made, mistakes so bizarre they defy explanation, sparking questions that linger like ghosts in the minds of collectors. Was it a die that cracked under pressure, leaving jagged scars across Lincoln's profile, or a planchet improperly prepared, its surface rippling with flaws that no quality control inspector should have missed? Consider the doubled dies, those tantalizing errors where the coin's design appears to shimmer with a ghostly double, as if the mint's machinery hesitated, imprinting Abraham Lincoln's stoic face twice in a fleeting moment of mechanical betrayal. These doubled features, like the faint echo of a second ear or a shadowed jawline, have driven collectors to pore over their coins with magnifying glasses, hearts racing at the thought of discovering a specimen that matches the elusive varieties. Catalogued by experts like Wexler, who documented only a handful of such anomalies for the 1973 D. But the mystery deepens. What about the misaligned strikes, where Lincoln's portrait sits off-center, as if the coin itself tried to escape the press, leaving a crescent of blank metal on one side and a distorted design on the other? These misalignments, some so severe they defy the mint's rigorous standards, raise haunting questions about how such errors evaded detection in an era when quality control was supposed to be ironclad. Could it have been a hurried shift change, a distracted operator, or something more sinister, a deliberate act, perhaps, by a rogue mint employee testing the limits of the system? The intrigue thickens with tales of planchet flaws, coins struck on defective blanks that left strange textures or unexpected weights, some weighing a mere 2.7 grams instead of the standard 3.11, as if the mint unknowingly used scraps from another denomination, a silent rebellion of metal against its intended purpose. Then there are the die clashes, where obverse and reverse dies collided without a planchet between them, imprinting faint outlines of the Lincoln Memorial onto Lincoln's bust, creating coins that seem to carry a secret message, a shadow of the reverse haunting the obverse in a way that makes you wonder if the mint's machinery was trying to tell a story no one was meant to hear. Collectors, those tireless treasure hunters who live for the thrill of the find, have been consumed by these anomalies, their obsession fueled by stories of coins with mint marks that don't belong, a D that appears faintly doubled or misplaced, defying the official records of the U.S. Mint, which insist that every 1973 D penny was struck with precision. Yet, whispers persist of lost die trials, experimental strikes that were never meant to leave the mint, coins that slipped into circulation through oversight or perhaps covertly smuggled out by someone who knew their significance. These rumors are stoked by confidential reports, long buried in the mint's archives, hinting at undocumented production runs, hurried cover-ups, and unexplained events that occurred during the chaotic early 1970s, a time when the mint was transitioning from silver to copper-nickel alloys for other denominations, leaving room for errors that no one could have anticipated. Imagine the thrill of a collector in 1975, pulling a 1973 D penny from pocket change and noticing something off, an invisible initial, perhaps the VDB, of Victor David Brenner, the coin's designer, rumored to appear faintly on some specimens, a ghostly remnant of a die that should have been retired decades earlier. Or consider the shadowed devices, where Lincoln's profile seems to glow with an eerie depth, as if the coin were struck under conditions that altered its very essence, leaving impressions that defy the physics of minting. These ghost-like impressions, coupled with tales of mint marks that seem to shift under different lighting, have sparked wild theories among numismatists. Could these be the result of experimental dies, struck in secret to test new techniques, only to be accidentally released into the world? The 1973 D penny's legend grows with every discovery, like the coin found in 1984 with a dramatic cud, a massive blob of metal where a broken die failed, obliterating part of Lincoln's portrait and leaving collectors wondering how such a glaring error escaped the mint's scrutiny. Each new find fuels the fire of speculation, with collectors scouring estate sales, coin rolls, and dusty jars in the hopes of uncovering a piece that rewrites the history of this enigmatic coin. The obsession is palpable, a fever that grips those who chase the 1973 D, driven by the tantalizing possibility that more anomalies are out there, hiding in plain sight, waiting to be discovered by someone with the patience to look. What if the mint's quality control failures were not just oversights but part of a larger, unspoken story, a moment in time when the pressures of mass production collided with human error, creating coins that were never meant to exist? The 1973 D penny stands as a testament to this chaos, a tiny artifact that embodies the imperfections of a system pushed to its limits, each error a clue to a puzzle that may never be fully solved. Collectors speak in hushed tones of coins with inexplicable features, like the one found in a small-town bank in 1992, its mint mark so faint it seemed to vanish under a loupe, or the specimen rumored to have been struck on a split planchet, its layers peeling apart like a secret waiting to be uncovered. These stories, passed from collector to collector, build a mythology around the 1973 D, a coin that seems to defy the very rules of minting, its anomalies a siren call to those who dream of holding history in their hands. The question lingers, how did these coins slip through, and what else might the mint have overlooked in that fateful year? The 1973 D penny is not just a coin, it's a mystery wrapped in copper, a challenge to unravel the truth behind its creation, a treasure that beckons with the promise of discovery, pulling you deeper into a world where every detail could change everything, where every coin could be the key to unlocking a secret that the US Mint never intended to reveal. Next, what if a single penny from 2001, a year when the world was reeling from seismic shifts and the US Mint was churning out billions of coins, held secrets so profound that it could rewrite the story of modern numismatics, sparking a question that haunts every collector: could a tiny mistake have birthed one of the rarest coins ever struck? The 2001 Lincoln Memorial 1-cent coin, struck in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco, seems unassuming at first glance, a copper-plated zinc disc bearing Abraham Lincoln's stoic profile, yet beneath its ordinary facade lies a labyrinth of minting errors, production anomalies, and whispered legends that have turned it into a numismatic enigma, a relic of a year when the mint's relentless pace may have let chaos slip through the cracks. Picture the scene: the US Mint in 2001, a hive of activity as it produced nearly 10 billion pennies, with Philadelphia and Denver mints operating at breakneck speed to meet demand, while San Francisco crafted pristine proof coins for collectors. Yet in this frenzy, something went awry, errors so bizarre, so inexplicable, that they've left numismatists questioning the very systems meant to ensure perfection. Imagine a coin with a doubled die, where Lincoln's eye or the letters of Liberty shimmer with a ghostly twin, as if the die itself hesitated, imprinting its design twice in a fleeting moment of mechanical rebellion, a phenomenon that experts like John Wexler have catalogued, noting subtle but mesmerizing varieties on 2001 pennies that sent collectors into a frenzy, their magnifying glasses trembling as they hunt for the telltale doubling. But the mystery doesn't stop there. What about the off-center strikes, where Lincoln's portrait drifts toward the edge, leaving a crescent of blank metal, as if the coin tried to escape the press, defying the mint's meticulous standards? These misalignments, some as dramatic as 50% off-center yet still bearing a visible date, raise chilling questions about how such errors evaded detection in an era of supposed precision, with collectors whispering of hurried night shifts or distracted operators, or perhaps something more clandestine. Could a mint worker have intentionally let these anomalies slip into circulation? The intrigue deepens with planchet flaws, coins struck on blanks that were too thin, too thick, or riddled with striations, as if the mint unknowingly used defective metal, creating pennies that feel wrong in the hand, their weights off by fractions of a gram, a silent testament to a process pushed beyond its limits. Then there are the die clashes, where the obverse and reverse dies collided without a planchet between them, leaving faint outlines of the Lincoln Memorial haunting Lincoln's profile, a ghostly impression that seems to whisper secrets of the mint's inner workings, as if the machinery itself was trying to confess a mistake no one was meant to notice. Collectors, those relentless treasure hunters, are consumed by these anomalies, their obsession fueled by tales of coins with mint marks that defy logic, a 2001 D penny with a faint, misplaced D that seems to shift under different lighting, or a 2001 S-proof coin with a mint mark so subtle it's almost invisible, challenging the official records that claim every coin was meticulously marked. These stories are stoked by rumors of lost die trials, experimental strikes that were never meant to leave the mint, perhaps tests of new alloys or designs that slipped into circulation through oversight or covert intent, buried in confidential reports that hint at undocumented production runs in 2001, a year when the mint was navigating post-9/11 tensions and economic pressures that may have strained its focus. Consider the 2001 D-mule error, a coin so rare it defies belief, struck with the reverse of a dime, a torch, an oak branch, an olive branch, instead of the Lincoln Memorial, a mistake so monumental it suggests a catastrophic failure in the mint's processes, yet only a handful of these mules are known to exist, each discovery sending shockwaves through the numismatic world, with collectors scouring their change for a piece that shouldn't exist. The BIE error, a tiny vertical die crack between the B and E in Liberty, adds another layer of mystery, a subtle but collectible flaw that seems to mock the mint's precision, appearing on 2001 pennies like a secret code left by a worn-out die. What about the capped die errors, where a planchet stuck to the die, creating coins with distorted, almost featureless designs, their concave surfaces a haunting reminder of a press gone rogue? These errors, like the die breaks that left raised bumps on coins, suggest dies pushed past their breaking point, each strike imprinting a new anomaly onto the next penny, a chain of mistakes that collectors now chase with feverish intensity. The 2001 penny's legend grows with every find, like the coin discovered in 2008 with a dramatic die crack running from Lincoln's shoulder to the rim, or the 2001 P specimen found in a bank roll with a faint, inexplicable shadow around, "In God We Trust," as if the die carried a memory of an earlier strike. These discoveries fuel wild theories. Could the mint have been experimenting with new dies in secret, only to accidentally release the results? Were there unreported incidents in 2001, perhaps during a late-night shift, when quality control faltered? The historical context only deepens the enigma. 2001 was a year of national upheaval, with the September 11th attacks shaking the country just months after the mint's production runs, a time when focus may have wavered, allowing errors to slip through unnoticed. Collectors speak in hushed tones of coins with invisible initials, like the VDB of Victor David Brenner, rumored to appear faintly on some 2001 pennies, a ghostly echo of a design element removed decades earlier, or coins with shadowed devices, where Lincoln's profile seems to glow with an unnatural depth, as if struck under conditions that defy explanation. The obsession is palpable, a fever that grips those who hunt the 2001 penny, driven by the tantalizing possibility that more anomalies are out there, hiding in coin jars, vending machines, or forgotten drawers, waiting to be discovered by someone with the patience to look. Each new find raises more questions. How did these coins escape the mint's scrutiny, and what do they reveal about a system under strain? The 2001 penny is not just a coin, it's a puzzle, a time capsule of a year marked by chaos, a challenge to unravel the truth behind its creation, each error a clue to a story that may never be fully told, pulling you deeper into a numismatic mystery that blends history, obsession, and the thrilling possibility of finding a coin that was never meant to exist.